Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks, TalkToProfit.com, and some people had some questions about my last video about guarding your vibration, about what exactly vibration is, and I explained it partially in that video. And also, if you get my book, Co-Creators with God, in there I deal with vibration and how it works. But I want to go into a little bit of explanation here because this is something that people don't commonly use. And unfortunately, the only people that use this terminology have basically co-opted it and made it into something it really isn't. They made it into kind of a more mystical, nonsensical thing. But this is actually something in the physical world, but everything vibrates. So down to your cells and below, things are vibrating. There's a frequency. Your DNA vibrates at a certain frequency. This is why your DNA is encoded in a certain way, producing you to look and behave and feel a certain way. Obviously, you have choice in that matter, but you don't have choice in how tall you are, or your hair color, or your eye color, unless you choose to change it through cosmetic means. Everything vibrates. Everything has a certain frequency. Now, the frequencies number in the infinity. Basically, there probably is some technically a fixed amount, but it would be so many numbers you couldn't even know them all. It's essentially infinite. The amount of frequencies, combinations, and the results they can produce. This is why when someone is told, just act as if. So if you're not a success, act as if you're a success. And what starts happening? Things start going better for them. Now, I'm not telling you to go around and pretend and make believe that you're something you're not. Of course not. But when you take on that mentality, you literally make changes in your cellular structure. Your DNA vibrates differently, and you produce different results. You essentially make yourself become a different person. And there's been documentation for people who have suffered from multiple personality disorder, which is called different things now, but at the time that's what it was called. And when they went into different personalities, they could take on different characteristics, including different illnesses. So they could have an illness, and then their mind switched to another character, another personality, and the illness goes away. Because their body's going in and out of that different vibrational state, causing different results. And this is one of the keys that is missing in most people's understanding. We kind of have a little glimpse of it, where people talk about being positive and things like that, but they don't really understand how powerful that is. That's not just fairy, mystical language and just putting a good smile on your face when everything's terrible. There is something tangible, physical results in the real world when you take on a positive attitude. That positive vibration changes you and changes your circumstances, brings about better things in your life when you focus on those good, positive, uplifting things. That is why Philippians 4:8 says to think about things that are lovely and true and of good report and just. And all those things essentially summarized as being positive. When you think positively, because that's what you're supposed to do, it will bring about the best results. It will cause you to vibrate those good vibrations that bring about and put you in line to receive the best things in life. This is one of the reasons why the scripture tells you to avoid associating with an angry man. When you're around these people who are angry and talebearers and gossipy and all these things, you lower your vibration, you bring yourself into a negative situation, and you now are attracting negative things, those same vibrational frequencies, into your life. And as I explained in the previous video, and I'll put a link in the description to that video, but as I explained in that video, when you tune into a radio station, you get the music on that station. That's the frequency you're tuned into. When you tune into a different frequency, you get a different station. And here's where it comes important for your life. When your life is not going the way you want, when things are not pleasant and lovely, there's not good report to be spoken over your life, this is when you need to change your vibration. Now, you don't change your vibration by going around and pointing out other people's fault. This person did this to me. That person said this. This economy's this way. That's this way. And all these things that people do to make excuses. And even if you want to say all those things are true, it has nothing to do with you. You are the one who chooses how you feel about something, how you choose to react to something. If you're going to let those other people bring you down, circumstances bring you down, lower your vibration, you're going to keep getting more of those kind of circumstances. Because basically, here's what happens. When your circumstances are bad, and you respond to them by feeling bad or sad or whatever the case is, what you are doing is putting yourself in the same vibration of those circumstances, which in turn attracts more of them. It doesn't attract goodness. It doesn't attract God's blessing in your life. It pushes it away. It causes you to be in a resistant state to the Spirit of God and His grace and goodness, because you are now only focusing on these negative things. So yes, you're gonna have to be diligent. You're gonna have to stop and think about things and consider your thoughts and consider your words and speak forth words that are good. Speak forth words that are pure and things that you want, not what you don't want in life. Even in a joking situation, don't speak forth things you don't want. Speak forth those things you do want. Now, some people will say, well, but if I speak forth those things I want, then people are going to think I'm arrogant, or they're going to think I'm crazy. Who cares? You're not being arrogant by speaking forth good, positive things. There's nothing arrogant about that. Too often people have resigned themselves to this mediocrity and failure mentality, self-deprecating humor, and all these things that drag them down because other people maybe are uncomfortable with you being successful. Listen, if they're uncomfortable with you being successful, you don't want to be around those kind of people, because the only thing they could possibly do is drag you down. It's that old parable of the crabs in the bucket, and every time one is trying to get out and almost out, the other ones pull it down. You hang around enough people like that who are constantly trying to pull you down, you'll stay down. And that will cause you in turn to vibrate a lower level, which will cause you to bring into your life lower level things. Those things that are on that low level of vibration. See, when you're on a high vibration level, you're above all those things. Those things aren't operating in your life anymore. Now, you can instantly go back to them, but you don't have to. No one's forcing you to go back to the vomit of the past. And why would you want to? When you know God's goodness, you know His grace, you know His abundance, the infinite abundance of God blessing and overflowing into your life in all areas of your life, why would you want to return to the negativity of the past? So my friend, I want to encourage you today. Understand that you don't have to know down to the photons and electrons and all these things. You don't need to know anything about that. That's all good, but here's what you need to know. Everything about you vibrates at a frequency. Certain frequencies attract certain things. So if you're feeling bad, here's what you're going to attract. Bad things. More things that will make you feel bad. Because that's the realm you're operating in. That is the options you have to choose from. That is the opportunities that you have available to you as long as you're operating in that low vibration. But when you're in the high vibration, it opens up all kinds of things, from wealth and success and health and happiness and all kinds of glorious opportunities and plenty of abundance of God just overflowing in your life. But you only get there by following Philippians 4:8. And so I want to encourage you, get my little booklet. It's a very short booklet. Won't take you very long at all to read it, but it's very important. The 7-day positivity diet, because if you'll follow that And obviously, it's more than 7 days. You should make it a lifetime habit. But if you'll follow that and follow Philippians 4:8, you will raise your vibration greatly. And here's what you'll see. All kinds of glory and abundance and blessing in your life. Stuff that you didn't think possible. Stuff you may have prayed for years ago and you didn't know why. You thought, quote unquote, God didn't answer, when meantime you were resisting the reception of the answer. Because you asked and you did receive, except that you blocked up the receiving part of it. When you do that, you will be so blessed, and you'll absolutely be overflowing in the abundance and goodness of God. My friend, get that book today. I'm going to put a link in the description to that as well. I pray it's a blessing for you, and I pray this video is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.